Who is you?
It's Brittany, bitch. Hey. Are you struggling to open that beer?
Yes.
Bruh.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
It has been open, so it can be consumed.
Hello. Welcome in.
For another episode of Cheers.
Cheers.
On this warm May night.
It's so cold.
For real.
It is so cold. The fact that it's May and it's muggy outside and it's cold, I don't understand.
It's like 65. How crazy is that? There's no mosquitoes outside. That's how fucking cold it is. In Georgia.
It's still cold. It's too cold. I'd
That's
rather
what I'm
have mosquito.
That's what I'm saying. It's too cold for the mosquitoes to be out.
I know, but I'm saying I would rather be struggling with mosquitoes than to be having I don't like having a blanket in May.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying?
I hate mosquitoes.
I would rather be hot than cold any day. I hate being cold.
Yeah. I like cold more than hot.
Okay, hot now. It was cold, but I'm hot.
Yeah, I just don't like to be sweaty
Mhm.
and sticky. Like that shit just bothers me.
Yeah, but you can be sweaty and sticky if you're cold too, because you have so many layers.
Not as much though. Like sometimes in summer you sweat so much that you feel like your sweat is sweating. You know?
Your sweat is sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I think I'd rather have less clothes on than more clothes on. Cause then you're like heavier, and then it's like
You look fancier.
You look fancier. I mean, it depends on the drip. You know, like if you have a
that's what I'm
good
saying.
style, you know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
But
I'm saying.
no. I am team hot all the way.
Team cold, baby.
No.
Let us know which team are you on.
Team hot for sure. I know more people.
Fight me.
People like to swim.
And some people like to be chill in the cold. I feel like it's 50-50, honestly.
Can you do more activities when it's cold or when it's hot?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Some people are introverts, so it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. They're just gonna be inside.
Yeah, but if you want to do something outside and it's cold, you're not gonna do it.
Like what?
What if you want to take a walk in the park?
Then you will take a walk in the park. You will see the beauty of the snow, and you will enjoy that. Maybe there's not just much people outside. You can go for a run when it's cold.
I don't mind if it's cold when it makes sense. Like if it's gonna snow, okay, cool. If it's just
It doesn't fucking snow in Georgia.
I know. That's why I'm like, why is it cold? Like at least in like northern states, like you know, the good states where it's worth it to be cold. I would rather have that because then it's actually snowing and it's like okay, like I get why it's cold. But if it's just cold for no reason and it's just gonna be chilly, like go away. You know what I'm saying?
Like they have the country.
I know, okay, but like when I lived up north, it was snowing and it was like real snow.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I can understand having 8 jackets on for this or I'll die. But here's the thing about that: I did not like how it hurt to breathe. Like
with
that
the cold
air.
or yeah.
Yeah, with the cold air, it's so like it hurts to breathe. And
So with the hot, like whenever it's so hot, it burns to breathe.
I've never had that happen. I've had cold burn me, and I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I mean it's been so hot for me that breathing kind of hurts because it's just like you're inhaling that heat.
Are you sure we're siblings?
Shit.
I know we're siblings. We too
Yeah.
similar,
For real.
but we too
Different.
different too.
Yeah, for
We're
real.
literally like yin and yang.
Chon chon chon. How cool is that?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I like
And
it.
a lot of people don't even know that we're related.
A lot of people think we're dating.
Yeah, for real, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but we don't look alike.
Because we don't look alike. Yeah. You're a little brownish, like a little,
You're a little Asianish. Yeah.
like one of those white Asians. You know, like a Korean or a Japanese.
No, they have the eyes more.
I don't
Elong-
fucking like all I
elongated,
see is
I guess.
Chinese eyes. That's all I see. But I know like Chinese people are like they have like a little more yellowish color on their skin, and like
Yeah.
Koreans look very white. I feel like I'm more on that side.
Yeah, Koreans do have like a whiter complexion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree on that. Because like even like you see the K-pop artists, they're so white.
Yeah, they're fucking white.
They're so white.
They're
and
white
tiny.
with Asian eyes.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool how they because there's a lot of surgery like in that world.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool how they open up their eyes. Yeah. Okay. This
But
is
I mean, it's the same thing as America. Like, you get this no nose or the tight waist.
Right.
It's just aesthetics.
but at least like with like especially like with Korean singers, they'll open up their eyes while still maintaining their
Asian features.
Asian features. Like
I mean, because you cannot change the the whole shape of your face. You will like
Yes, you
at
can.
the root of it, it will still look like you to a degree. You know, so if
Yeah.
you're Asian, you will look Asian at the end of the day, and if you're white, you will look or Caucasian,
Mhm.
you look Caucasian. Same thing for black people. I mean, you will still look black at the end of the day, whatever you do to your face.
Yeah.
Like there's still gonna be like a little something that you like. You look more like this, you know.
I mean, I feel like that's debatable because, for example, Michael Jackson,
He still looks like a little.
he didn't look like African American at the end. Like he definitely didn't.
Why are you afraid to say black?
Because I am the way that I am. Okay, leave me alone.
See, I feel like that would be more disrespectful than to call them just black. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're all American. If you live in America, you just happen to be American with dark skin.
You know
Like,
why?
why we have to put a label on it?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Because people are so fucking sensitive. Like it will be a problem. Like for example, you got offended as an African American, and maybe somebody else will get offended that if I say black. Like people are so fucking. Bitch, a hobo. You hear that?
Nope. I hear nothing. What
There,
is it?
there was like a sound back there.
Probably one of the million of bottles that we have.
Bruh.
It's not October yet.
No, but a homeless.
There's no homeless in this area of town.
Sure, you're right. Anyways, I feel like the only reason why I said that, especially in podcasts, like if it's like you and me and we're talking, I will say black. Stop looking back there because that's scaring me. Now I'm thinking that there's somebody back here.
I just keeping an eye out.
But like for example, if we're just talking like with my friends, I will say black and things like that. But like I feel like for just people that you're not really familiar with, I do tend to kind of censor because you never know how people are gonna get offended. Like people are so easily offended that I kind of just gotten accustomed to the censorship and just being aware of what somebody else may think. Like if I do say like black, or like, oh shit, you're not black, you can't say that. You know, like I know it's stupid. Like in my opinion, I think it is stupid, but I think that at this point I have been so conditioned to think that somebody else is gonna think that I'm racist. If that makes sense.
I think that the internet has made it to the point that we think that most people are sensitive, when in reality we're not. It's very few the ones that are very sensitive, and I feel like those are the ones that make the most noise, and that's what like some parts of each culture have a negative stereotype, because those light voices are the ones that make the most noise.
The what voices?
Like the few people.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Like out of 1,000 people, like one is gonna complain that you say black instead of African American, and he's the one that's gonna make the most noise. And because it's the internet, it's gonna spread, and then people is gonna like share it.
I think I just been conditioned to it, like because even whenever I'm at work and I'm talking to obviously Atlanta black people, I tend to adapt to the slang, the language, the accent, and everything. It's like a weird phenomenon, you know. Like you just kind of adapt to whoever you're talking to, even like with I would say Asian, but not Asians, Hispanic people.
Yeah.
I will take out my Spanish accent more.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I tend to adapt. Like I think this is like my real accent, like the way I'm talking to you right now. Like that's like my.
This is you at your core.
Yeah, this is me and this is how I talk. But then you also know me how I can get like this real motherfucking quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I could also just tone it down. So I don't know. It's just for me. I just adapt to it because I feel like it's a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
As well as a sense of kind of like I guess respecting wherever you're at in the culture. Like I feel like if we were somewhere in the Middle East and I had to cover up like my whole body because I have to respect the religion, like I have to do that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from, and I guess I have a different output on it, because to me, adapting to how people are is being disrespectful to who you are.
Ooh.
So.
Bitch. He got me, y'all. He got my ass, bro.
So, and I mean, I get it, because I used to be the same. I used to be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just want to be real with myself.
Yeah.
And then whoever accepts me for who I am, then I will, like, that will be my friends or the people that I hang out with.
Right.
And the people who don't accept me for who I am, then we're just not going to be friends. Like, simple as that. Because, like, I'll give you the example, and I had this conversation with some friends. They're black, because that matters to the conversation. And we were talking about the N-word. and they were like, "Hey, are you cool with Hispanic people saying it?" And so we're like, "Yes, we kind of cool because I mean they're not whites, all this kind of shit." And they were like, "No, because they're not black, so they cannot say like the N word like we can and all that shit." And I was like, "Okay, that's a fair point." But I'm gonna give you this output, and this is my personal theory, what we say it, and this is because in Mexico and all those Hispanic countries, what we consume, American movies, American television. So whenever we see a show like The Wire, which is a mostly black gangs and stereotypes like that, in the 90s, The Wire.
The Wire, okay.
Yeah, it's an HBO show. So they used to say that a lot, like the N word. And me not knowing the culture, not knowing the language, I saw that as a kid, and I was like, you know what? Like those are homies. They're like real friends. They go through hardships and they struggle together, and they say that to one another. So it's normal because that's how they communicate.
But they're black.
No,
blacks amongst blacks.
But hold on, it's blacks. But that's the thing. Us in Mexico, we don't see that they're black because we're not really conditioned to that. Right. That's a very American conditioning thing. Like, and I'll be honest, I've never saw a black person until I moved to the States.
Same.
So to me, being a black and being a white, it was like, what's the difference? It's just like they're American, they speak in English, they're American.
Yeah.
So to me, that word had no negative connotation. So I said it in my personal life because if I see it in the movie, and you know, movies are what you aspire to be in a way, what inspire you to be a certain way. If you see two friends calling each other that and they're really good homies, you're like, oh yeah, like I'm really good friends with, I don't know, Julie. So I'm gonna call her that because that's like just like the people in the movie or the people in the show, she is my homie. So I'm gonna say it because she is my homie in real life. And then you just go all your life saying it, and then you move to the States, and then you see that black people say it among themselves, and that it's cool. And then you learn about history, and then you learn that that's a bad word.
Yeah. But
you don't say it because you're racist or you're trying to be mean. You just say it because
it's a word that you learn.
It's a word that you learn, and it has a good connotation within the world of the movie because they're friends.
I feel you on that, and the only, I guess, debate that I would have on that is that we watched movies growing up, like American television. However, we were watching in Spanish, so they weren't saying the N word.
So they were not saying the N word, but they were referring to people as black,
as a color black.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like that I'm cool with, right? So I kind of had the same experience whenever we came here to the United States. I said it a lot, like back in high school, and I didn't know. Like I was so ignorant back then, but I just didn't know. I didn't know that meant X, Y, and Z, right? And then once I moved to Atlanta and I started saying it like among other black people, it was kind of like divided. I've gotten some ugly looks and I've gotten some like, yeah, whatever, like it is what it is. But there's just one thing that happened one day. I was at work and there was a black girl next to me and we were talking about Bad Bunny and something like that. And I said something along the lines of like, oh, Bad Bunny is that N-word, right? And she got so offended. She was like, how could you even say this? It's not even your word. And I was like, to me, I was just talking about Bad Bunny. You know, we're talking about music. Like, I wasn't the only one that was saying it. There were other Hispanics saying it. There were other black people saying it. And because she got so offended, for me, that's when it kind of like, I'm just not going to even say around people that I'm not cool with or
strangers.
Not even strangers. I don't want to say strangers. I want to say specifically black people because you don't know how they're gonna react. You don't know if they're gonna be cool about it or they're gonna like be like absolutely not. And they feel so disrespected. When at the end of the day, for us, it's a word. It doesn't mean necessarily all the negative that it means here in the United States. However, I do think that, especially in Atlanta, is when I really started noticing. I'm like, some people have that victim mentality, and some people are cool with it, and some people are, I guess you could say, quote unquote, woke about it.
Yeah.
Like. But I think it was just that one
incident
that I was just like, it's not worth the headache. It's not worth the discomfort because it made me feel bad. It made me feel like, oh, like I really offended this person and I didn't want to offend that person. So that's why I said that. That's why I said African American at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so like, I'm triggered. Like honestly, I don't want to cause a scene. I don't want to cause anybody discomfort, you know, like if it's like with my homies and we know we're with bullshit, like okay, cool. But again, some people just still get so offended and I just rather not even like, okay, cool. If you're offended, I don't want to be part of that. You know.
Yeah.
So I just kind of been conditioned to be careful on it.
Yeah. I mean, I get the part of being careful, but at the same time, and I think Morgan Freeman say that the best. If you want to stop racism in the country, just stop talking about it. Mm-hmm. Just take it for what it is. One more word of the English language. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people need to get over their victim mentality, and then it will be better for everybody.
It's just, I do feel like, part of me does feel like people need to get over it, but at the same time, we are not black. Like, we truly don't know.
But we're a minority.
Yeah, but we don't know the history. We know what we learned in school. We know stuff from the internet. But I guess in my, I guess, theory, you can say, is that it's a sense of pride. Like,
okay,
for them. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's a sense of pride. Like, you don't want to be called the N-word, because to you that's derogatory because of the history that you know from your own country, even from your own people, your great grandmother, your great grandmother, whatever. Like, I could understand that mentality on it more. However, like, I'm just a foreigner here in this country. Like, you go anywhere else in the world, they're saying it. You go to the Dominican Republic, you're gonna be real mad.
Yeah.
You know, like, they are Afro-Latino. Yeah, they're Afro-Latino.
They're not, I mean, they're black. They're just black people. Yeah, they're black people that speak Spanish. That's the only difference.
Yeah, but they're called Afro-Latinos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah, that's like a huge thing. Like people from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago. I guess they're, like, Trinidad and Tobago and Haiti are definitely more African, for sure. But, like, for example, Cardi B gets all the time, I am an Afro-Latina representative. And I'm like, I get it, because we have different hair. She obviously has bigger lips. She's obviously black, you know? Like, she considers herself black. She'll say that to your face. So, I don't know. I feel like it feels to me like it's definitely a United States problem. And if it's a sense of pride, I get it and I'll respect that. It's just, you just gotta be careful, man.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
It'd be interesting to see if the UK has the same problem that the US has with that regard. Because I don't know, I never really heard anything about it in the UK. But again, it's overseas, so I don't know if it will really be
as huge.
A problem. Yeah, as huge.
I mean, I just feel like it adds to the problems of America. Actually, not America. I hate when people say America, because America's a fucking continent. I hate when people say that. It's when I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's a United States thing. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Shoot.
The UK, the US.
I think it just adds on to the list of the United States problems that they're like, this is just ridiculous. Like, have you seen the videos of people are like, how much money do you think that moms get paid on maternity leave? And all the foreigners are like, oh, they must get like 20,000. They must get like at least 5,000. It's like, no, women in the United States get zero, and they're like shook about it, right? Because it's like, what do you mean? So I feel like it's just like another problem of the United States, like healthcare, maternity leave, education, racism,
equality.
Like, honestly, this is not the greatest country in the world. Let's be real. Let's be real.
I think we're past that point. I think at some point within the last 10, 15 years, we still believe that we were the greatest country in the world. But nowadays, it's very common knowledge that we're not, even amongst people. You know, it used to be believed by people that were outside, but now it's believed by people who also are American.
I feel like it's just been more brought to light because of the internet, you know?
Yeah.
Like, now we have different perspectives from all over the world, therefore we know that we ain't shit. Like,
I mean, do we really? Because I feel like we only see the negative. Like, we never hear anything about Germany or Spain or China. I mean, the only thing that we hear about China is negative, but we don't really have an output of different countries.
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it's like the lesser of...
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that.
My bad, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear that.
I don't know how to block this shit on the computer. Bro.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely hear that.
Oh, hell no. I thought it was just on the headphones.
No.
Well, continue speaking. I'll silence this bitch.
You can silence it. Yeah.
I just don't know how. Continue
Can
talking.
You say well, I feel like it's the lesser of, I guess, many evils.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess some things that we see are the negative. Like I want to compare it to the UK because I feel like that's the country that I get the most. I guess you could say that. But I guess I really don't know what problems they got over there. I'm sure they got problems over there, you know? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, like what kind?
Yeah.
That'd be the interesting thing.
I mean, okay, for a problem that I do know, like Paris. Like Paris is like disgusting. Like they have a whole thing going on with the government. There's trash all over the streets, you know. But they have free education. They have free college. So I'm like, okay, do I want to have beef with the government here or over there? Because over here we're getting taxed out the ass, and we're not even getting free education.
And the education that we're getting is not the best in the world anymore.
Yeah.
You can see it with the protest. The fact that Ivy League schools are protesting for something that they don't know. Oh yeah, we talked about it in the last episode. Like this Ivy League girl that was like, "Why are we protesting?"
Yeah.
And her friend was like, "I wish I was more educated."
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch. Wasn't she from like Boston or MIT?
It was
one of the.
It was all schools. Like
no, that like I get it with schools because some schools are woke, but the fact that it was elite schools.
It was like an Ivy League.
Yeah, it was an Ivy League. It was like Harvard.
Wasn't it Princeton?
It was like Princeton or Harvard. It was like one of the big energy schools.
Yeah.
And the fact that bitch say that, I was like, bro, 150 per class, whatever it is,
yeah.
like, down the fucking drain. Like, how crazy is that?
I mean, it's just because we just don't know what the hell going on. Like, we really, I feel like we are the blind leading the blind. Like,
but that's supposed to be the most educated people in the country going to those schools. No, I mean, now it's fucking obvious that it's not.
Money talks. Somebody got her. I mean, even like the whole scandal with the Hollywood star that got her daughter into like some school. Like she literally was like, she got rejected, and her mom was like, absolutely not, I'll pay for you. And she pretty much committed fraud, admission fraud, some shit like that. And she went to jail for it. Like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it happened like a long time ago.
Okay.
A long time ago, but I don't know. It's scary, and at the end of the day, nobody knows because we're either getting fake news, as Donald Trump would say, or we're getting all kinds of debates, and everything is like so divided that we don't know what the hell is going on here. So one thing that I do feel like we have clear is that people want change. But it's like, how do we get change from people that don't want change? You know, like the government.
Yeah. It's revolution, baby.
I'm telling you, we are due for a civil war. We are due for a revolution, baby. I'm ready. I'm not ready, but I'm ready. I'll survive it, you know. Life goes on. The show must go on.
That's why we need more Elon Musk in the world.
What you mean?
I mean, he's fighting for freedom, for free speech, you know, like not censorship. Like, I fuck with that guy.
I mean, yeah, it ain't like anything. I don't know. The fact that he controls a lot of shit is scary. You know, like
yeah, but at least he seems like a more. I mean, I'm pretty sure he does his shady deals because once you made it to a certain degree, you just have to play by certain rules.
Yeah.
But I feel like amongst all the billionaires, he's the more that is for humanity. There's just something, yeah, there's just something about him that you can fake. Like, he is pro-life, meaning in a way that I don't want, just because I'm an elite person, I don't want the people below me to be enslaved.
What are you talking about? I feel like isn't he the CEO that got so much shit for his employees? Like, they were doing like a protest, and he said, "You want to protest me? Alright, you're fired." Because he was like pro. I don't know which pro he was, like Palestinian or Israel, one of those two, and a bunch of his employees that were against it, they pretty much protested outside, and he was like, "Alright, you're fired. Bye." Like. So I feel like that's not a fair comparison.
I mean, I don't know about that story. It might be true, but I can tell you that, at least from my perspective, if that was me in his position of my employees protesting for something that has zero to do with them, instead of working, and then on top of that demanding me to do something for people that they don't even know, yeah, I will fire them too, because they're a liability. Like, what would I care about that?
Because you just said that you're for the people.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like I'm gonna put other people's interests on top of mine to the degree that you're protesting for nothing. Like, what being pro-Palestine or Israel is gonna accomplish you in the United States?
Because Elon Musk controls a lot of wealth, a lot of technology that helps that war. I mean,
like what? He's a cars people.
Okay, he's a car people, but he has a fucking spaceship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but he's trying to make it to Mars. He's not trying to create he's not making nuclear missiles.
I understand that, but I feel like when you are in that sort of power, that literally the 1% of the 1%, it's just like you have to be involved in that type of shit. Like, whether it's like dead on, like straight some sort of
elite.
No, like some sort of a corporation, whether it's through funding, campaigns, or even like endorsing a politician.
But he hasn't done any of that. I mean, did you see it became a meme when he told Disney to go fuck himself?
No.
Yeah, there was they were doing an interview, and then Disney said that he was gonna pull up his ass from X now, used to be Twitter, because according to Disney, X was anti-free speech. And Elon was like, no, I'm pro-speech because I'm not censoring people. If somebody wants to say something on my platform, they can say it without being censorship like Facebook, like YouTube, like any other of these big corporations. And he was like, if you're going to threaten me with money, go fuck yourself. He'll literally say that.
Because he's got the money.
Because he got the money. I mean, and he can back it up. And that's what I'm saying, like, he's pro-people. But like, he's not gonna go for stupid reasons like being pro-Palestine or pro-Israel, because like that has nothing to do in America. Maybe he has something to do with it because he plays in that game, like the 1% of the 1% that you said. But to the people that is all the way at the bottom, like, what the fuck do they have a game on? Or like, what do they have a chip on that game?
I mean, I get it. Like, that's why we said on a previous episode, are protests even working? Like, are they worth it? Are they working? Are they even... like, should they even happen? But
I think they should, but we should be smart about it. Rick and Morty has this quote that people are choosing to die their battles on random hills nowadays, meaning that they're just going for very silly reasons to protest. Because, like, for example, the Israel and Palestine problem, like, that's all the way on the other side of the world. Why are we not protesting that we're getting taxed more? Or are we not protesting that we don't have healthcare or free education or quality education?
Because we do protest it and nothing happens.
I've never heard of any of those protests.
I mean, it's not like we have like a sit down protest like
we don't have a sit down protest for the Palestine. It's just like a bunch of random kids creating chaos in the middle of campuses.
Because the United States is funding a little bit of war, whether it's through sending help, sending guns, sending whatever.
Okay, then we should be protesting that instead of being, why is the government not pro-Palestine or pro-Israel? You know, like,
I feel like that's what people are protesting.
I don't even know that.
I feel like people are protesting that the United States is even involved. There's a lot of people that say, how can you help another country when your country needs help?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the main argument. Like,
I don't think that's the main argument, because most people say that, why are we helping one side and not the other?
I think that's a dumb argument. I think, for me, it's just saying, who do you want to shoot? Do you want to shoot the Israeli or the Palestinian people? Like, to me, that is so silly. Like, why are we even having a war? Like, honestly, like, for me, having a war is so, like, a power grab, let's see whose dick is bigger type of shit, right?
Yeah.
In an unfair way, but at the same time, innocent people are dying. Like, if you really want to battle it out, let's do it Game of Thrones style, like Ramsay Bolton and Jon Snow, and let's battle it out like for real. Like, I feel like the fact that leaders make their own people die is so ugly. Like, that's the one thing I never ever understood about history, wars, and let's see who can do this and like even World War One, World War Two, and the Civil War, all that shit. Actually, I kind of agree on the Civil War because there was a point to that. But like, for example, like the First and Second World Wars, like it was just like hella people died, and at the end of the day, we still have beef with people. So it's just like, bro, if you want to conquer shit, like I feel like at this point, it's fucking 2023. Why are we still conquering people? Like, oh, it's 2024. You're right. like why are we conquering people? Like, even like, why is Puerto Rico can't vote? Why are they colonized?
Because they're brown.
Because they're brown, but like they don't even get a vote. You know, like that's so ugly to me. Like, it's like, I don't know. For me, politics is a very silly game because
it's a very dirty game.
It's a very dirty, silly game because people want to be like, oh, I'm for the people, but you're not listening to the people. And the thing that bothers me the most is the hypocrisy, especially when people want to pull out like, oh, the amendments, the Bill of Rights, you know, the Declaration of Independence. The first words on the Declaration of Independence, it says, "We the people." We the people are speaking, and we're not getting shit done. Like, what's the point? Like, people want to be so patriotic, but we're doing bullshit, and like that, I feel like that kind of comes back to the circle of like saying the N-word like with black people, and like it's a sense of pride. I get it. They're also a part of we the people, and they didn't get shit until slavery was abolished. Like, they were part of the people, but they weren't considered people. Like, it's just so.
It's a double face.
It's a double-edged sword, but it also kind of just reminds me of what you said the other day. Of you can't judge the ignorance of the past with the knowledge of the of the present. Right. So it's just like, bruh. But the fact that people are saying, yo, we're getting taxed hella, we have no health care, there's no education, these things have been going on for years and years and years, and nothing has changed. But we can fund a war, but we have like, what is it, like, the student debt is like in the trillions?
Yes.
Like, fuck out of here. Like, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, come on. Like, please make it make sense. Please. I'm heated. I'm pissed. It's just so stupid to me. Like, the fact that I can't even decide. Here's the thing. The fact that our parents left their own country to give us a better life or whatever, and now we can't even afford college, might as well stay in our country. Shit. Let's go back. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to pack my shit and go back home. Because, like, honestly, like, and this is like a hot topic, and I would love to talk to a lot of immigrants about this. There's a lot of people that I'm like, yo, I want to go back to my country. Like, what is there? Our food's better, our lifestyle's better. The only thing that's better here is the money and the safety.
The safety.
Right? And I know that that's like a huge thing to trade for. Obviously not like the food or anything like that, but like, you are trading hella shit, like all the shifts that you are having at work. You're working a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and you get 2 days of freedom, and then those 2 days of freedoms you have to do all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, the system is so fucked up, in my opinion.
I see what you're saying, and going back to what you said about the immigrant coming here, I feel like there's a very confusing idea of what they want to do. Because most of the people that you talk to, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna work for like, I don't know, 3-5 years and then go back to my country. And then they do that. They build their house over there, and then they have a little bit money saved, and they go back. And then they go back, and then they realize that they don't make as much money here. Because let's be realistic, if you have a job here, like a decent paying job, you can make like, what, 800, 1,000 a week?
Yeah.
That's pretty good money.
That's fantastic money.
And you go back to your country and you make $200 a week. You're like, what the fuck? I'm working just the same, and it's not the same. And I know a lot of people that did that. They work for a couple of years, build their house, maybe save enough money to open a little business in their town, and then went back to their country. They realize that life is not as good or as simple,
right,
as it is here in America. And then they came back. In the United States.
Yes.
And they came back.
And I agree. Like, I do see how drastic the change is when it comes to money, and at the end of the day, money makes the world go around.
Money is the god of this world.
But it's just so, like I said, everything is just so fucked up in my eyes. Like, the fact that how's that saying go? Mexico no domina el mundo porque no quiere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's so sad. The fact that our government is so corrupt that we can't even earn like good livable wages. But here it's just like, I don't know, like, to me.
But you trade some freedoms for freedoms, because I see what you're saying, but at the same time, here in America, you make really good money, but it's very strict. Everything is corporate. Everything is very shady, and whenever you're not useful to the company, they throw you out.
You're so replaceable.
You're replaceable, and people wanna think that they are not, but they are. Because I give you the example of this, like in my job, they're like, hey, can you stay on your day off, or can you come on your day off, and all this shit. And my answer is always the same. I'm like, if you were to fire me today, you wouldn't ask me, hey, I'm gonna fire you, but I'm gonna give you 2 weeks so you can find a different job and like be on your feet. You will fire me that day, and that's my problem. So right now, I use my hours that I'm hired to do. I'm going home. Unless I need the money, that's on me. I will pick up the shift. But if not, the business problems are not my problems.
Right.
So I'm leaving.
But they make it, they want you to take their problems for whatever reason. And actually, I love that we're talking about this because I got a little sunshine. I got a little something to say, y'all.
Let me open the second one because this is good shit.
I need to talk about what happened to me this weekend because you ever been so done with something? You're literally like, if you want to just, I don't know. I don't want to
tell them to fuck off.
I don't want to.
Yes.
Yes. I am a little at a loss for words at the moment. So it's crazy that you say that about the restaurant because they want to make it your problem, right? When at the end of the day, it's their problem. But here's my fucking pet peeve when it comes to restaurant businesses. It's a restaurant. We're not solving cancer. We're not going to the moon. We're not even getting data. Okay? We are taking your order. What do you want? There's a fucking set menu. Order something from the menu, like, and then I'm gonna bring it to you, and that's our interaction, right? And that's a very human interaction. Like,
it's very simple.
It's a very simple transaction. Like, hey, hello, how you doing? Ordered your shit, eat it, have a good time, and get the fuck out. And it doesn't go any deeper than that, right? Like, yeah, you can have conversation with your guests. You can talk about literally anything in the world. You can even get more money out of it if you're smart enough, right? But I feel like the managers, and this has happened to me in more than one restaurant, they want to act like this shit is the most important shit in the fucking world. Yeah, they do. And at the end of the day, what do they always say to you? The customer is always right, and do whatever the customer says so they can come back. It's so fucking hypocritical, right? So you want to say yes to the customer at all times, but God forbid there's a fucking substitution. You're gonna get yelled at by the kitchen manager, the kitchen, and your actual manager, and probably the bartender too. You know, so it's just like it's just so whack.
They contradict themselves all the time.
They contradict themselves, and it's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying because at the end of the day, you're gonna go home, you're gonna sleep, and you're gonna come back here and do it all again tomorrow. And it's gonna be the exact same problems because it just always is, right? Yeah. But it's food, man. Like, it's food. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why people are so pressed. Like, okay, let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you what happened to me this weekend. So this past weekend was Mother's Day weekend. And in case you don't know, Mother's Day weekend for every single restaurant in the United States, it is the busiest weekend of the year. Fuck Valentine's Day, fuck Christmas, fuck Thanksgiving, Mother's Day. And Easter too. But
some places are closed, so that might be why.
If your restaurant is open on Easter and Thanksgiving, best believe that shit is packed to the titties, okay?
It's either packed or completely empty. And those two are the present.
If you are a high upscale restaurant,
then it's gonna be
that shit booked, overbooked. Yeah. So
that's another one. Oh, that's my pet peeve. When these dumbasses overbook shit.
One problem at a time, please, because I'm gonna get heated. So what happened to me this weekend is everybody in the restaurant industry knows that if you call out for whatever reason, it's an automatic fire. Like, They don't give a shit if you're on your deathbed. Like, they don't give a fuck. And what happened to me is that I was sick. I got sick on Saturday, the day before Mother's Day. I already knew. I was like, I'm gonna be fired. Like, this is it. But I couldn't come in. I was sick as fuck. I get the text, and I'm gonna read y'all. I'm gonna read y'all this text that I got because it's just so insane to me. I said, hey, I'm really sick. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. My manager said, hey, so this weekend is the busiest weekend for us. This is when I need y'all the most. If you don't come in this weekend, then I no longer need you. Ah! Fired, right? Fired. I'm like, fuck, like, I'm sick. Like, what, like, do you want me to throw up on people? Like, here's the thing. And the restaurant that I work at, they're very, I don't know what it is about the people that work there, like my coworkers, they will do it. Like, there was this one girl, bless her heart, homegirl had pneumonia. Bitch, pneumonia! Can you imagine? Like, no. Poor girl, she came in, she was talking like this. I was like, are you good? She was like, no. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, seriously. Poor girl is sweating. She put on her makeup. Like, bless her. Like, she tried her fucking best. Homegirl is shaking. Homegirl is not okay. And I'm like, are you serving tables like this? Like, talking to people like this? And she was like, yeah, the boss made me come in. I'm like, oh, you're real crazy for that. You are absolutely crazy. Shift continues, blah, blah, blah. I'm in the kitchen doing some bread. All I hear is... Poor girl is literally throwing up. I'm surprised she didn't have blood, honestly.
She's coughing her lungs out.
She's coughing so bad, and I'm over here like, bruh.
Like, am I gonna get sick?
Am I gonna get pneumonia? Like, fuck that. I literally told her, I was like, I don't mean to be rude, but get the fuck away from me. Like, no, like, our manager may be cool with you talking to people like this, but I'm not cool with you getting me pneumonia, bitch. Like, I'm just not. Yeah. And the fact that customers didn't say shit, that just speaks volumes on how ignorant people are. And to me, like, as a consumer, or like,
I don't want to get sick.
Do you, if I was serving you like that, would you want me to serve your food? Hey, my name is Julie and I'll be taking care of you today. What would you think?
This bitch is dying.
And would you say something to the manager, or would you be like, all right, cool, like, it is what it is? What would you do?
I feel like my opinion is a little more biased because I'm on the other side as well, and I can see this kind of shit. You know, like for example, when you go to a restaurant, you can tell the difference between good service when someone is busy, or like not good service, but like you can tell the difference when someone is busy and is not giving you good service, and when someone is just a bad server.
Right.
You know, so like I get it. You're busy. I'll still give you a good tip because I know you're doing your best. Unless if I see you fucking around and like I'm one or two tables in the whole place and like you're barely paying attention to me and like I need everything. Like that's the kind of shit.
I've been both, yeah.
Yeah, me too though.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of shit that I will notice. So like you asking me that question, I don't feel like it will be fair because I can see those details. So if I see that bitch like dying and coughing, I'll be like, yeah, like there's something wrong on it. But I get it that a lot of people don't really pay attention. Like there are some people that are really nice and they pay attention. They care about your name. They trying to be polite to you, all this kind of shit. But there are some people that just ignore you.
Right.
So I feel like that's the people that don't really give a fuck.
But I'm not even talking about being nice. I'm talking about health.
But that is what I'm saying. If you don't care about being nice to the person that is serving you food, you're not gonna care if the person is right.
Okay.
They wouldn't notice. Like if they can even remember your name, they're not gonna notice if you look sick or not.
If somebody's talking to you like this,
some people are glued to their fucking phone. Like some people just in the oblivion.
That is absolutely insane.
But you know I'm right.
But you're not though, and the only reason why I say you're not right is because at the end of the day, you have to talk to the server. Like you're gonna, what do you want? Even if you say I want a Coke and a burger, you have to talk to them.
Okay, yeah, but you gotta talk to them. But if you're on your phone and if you have your phone on your face and the bitch is talking to you, you just
she's talking to you like this.
Yeah, but you're just fucking reading Facebook and Instagram.
That's
and
crazy.
Like, I know, but I've seen it. I've seen people that are just like completely fucking like enchained.
Yeah.
In their fucking phone, like they're not even paying attention. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. And then when the food comes out, they're like, who ordered a fucking taco? And it's like the bitch in front of you. And I'm like, you ordered the fucking. They're like, oh yeah, me. Like they don't even remember what they ordered.
But the thing about it is like for me, if somebody were to come up to me as a server, obviously I'm like, I would honestly be like, what do you have? because I don't want to get fucking sick. I would honestly ask for a new server. And if I hear that shit in the background, like whenever she was coughing her lungs out, I'm definitely talking to the manager. And I hate to sound like that. I don't want to be a Karen. I don't. But like, it's so fucked up on the restaurant's part. The poor girl is fucking dying. Okay? Like, just health-wise. There's nothing more important in this world than your own health. Right? The restaurant's gonna be there today, tomorrow, probably in a year, 10 years. If you were to get somebody sick for real and that person dies, that's on fucking you, and that's gonna be on your conscience, and the restaurant is not gonna give a fuck, right? So to me, the morality is fucked up. There is no morality. And the fact that the managers of any restaurant, because of the sake that it's busy, I understand. I really do get that it's a business. It's money. But bro, if people are fucking dying, come on, dude. Like,
and you're serving food. That's what a lot of
like, that's crazy.
That's a hot spot.
And
to create chaos.
And that's why I find it so ignorant and so just totally morally wrong. Like, honestly, like I said, like if that was me, I would ask for a new server. I would ask for new food. Like, honestly, like, I'm sorry. Like, I would be like, do you hear her?
Okay,
like,
but
I would raise hell. And I feel like I would only raise hell because I'm just so over it. But it's just so wrong.
But you work in the restaurant, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it because I've seen it. Sometimes when they send the food back and somebody else order that, because like I don't know, let's say like you order whatever you
got a burger.
Order, yeah, with no onions. There's another order that came in that comes with onions. Even if that food touched the table and you bring it back to the kitchen, they're gonna save it and they're gonna serve it with that food. So they're trying to save money. It's the most fucked up thing in the world, but it happens. And you know it happens.
But that's what I'm saying. The morality is so fucked up. Like, that's why I feel like I'm gonna heat it, because I'm just so done with the selfishness and the greed of the restaurant business. Like you were saying, like, it's so fucked up when they overpack the place, right? Here's my real issue, right? If you have 10 tables from 1 to 2, why the fuck would you book 15 people? Like, or 15 tables? Like, let's say you have just 10 tables and that's all you have capacity for, right? Like, there's no more other seats. Why the fuck would you make a reservation for 15 tables? Like, why would the restaurant allow that? And now you're not only getting bad service, you're probably getting rushed food. The service, everything in the back is just gonna be a mess. Like, why do restaurants do that? And then it's also not a good customer experience for them. Like, because people are complaining, oh, we had a reservation at 10:30 and it's 11 o'clock. I get it. I get it from the customer's perspective. But what does the restaurant say? Oh, we're backed up.
They never want to take
accountability. They never want to say we overbooked because we want this money, right? And it's so... I think I'm just so over it. Like, it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years of just literally the same shit every year. Like, every Mother's Day is chaotic, good money, and I guess that's why it fucking happens, you know, it makes the world go around. But I think I'm past the point where the fact that I had to fear for my job when I was on my deathbed is fucked up.
But that's the American dream. That's the American dream.
Work to die.
Work to death or get fired in the process.
Write that down, because that's a good quote right there. And that's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
That's so messed up. And you know what? I got cussed at a couple of times this weekend. Because I did go to work on Sunday, y'all. I didn't get fired. I may get fired on Tuesday, but we'll see. And if I do, like, it is what it is. I'm gonna hit them with the same shit that I just hit you with. Like, I couldn't drive. I was dizzy as fuck. My mommy wouldn't let me drive. Like, yeah, like, if my mommy's not letting me drive, I don't give a fuck if I'm 30 years old. Like, my mommy will always have, like, the best interest, right? And at the end of the day, she's always right. Like, I was, you know, when you're on the verge of a blackout and those spins start to happen? Yeah. Imagine driving like that. Like, I'm at that point, I'm putting my safety at risk. I'm putting people on the road at risk. And, dude, no thank you. Like, I'm honestly very upset that I missed that day because
it was good bread.
Money. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody walked out with like $600. I missed out on that money. You don't think I'm upset about it? But then I went in the next day still kind of feeling sick. I threw up a couple of times at the restaurant. I even told my coworkers, it was busy as fuck. Like as soon as I got there, obviously Mother's Day, crazy. And I literally looked at my coworker and I said, "Hey, I may need to throw up in a little bit. I'll let you know so you can cover me." And he was like, "Yeah, I got you. Going on with the shift, I literally tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, I gotta go. He's like, you good? Like, he got me, right? And then I come back, he's like, you good? I'm like, no. Like, you could clearly tell that I was sweating. Like, I was just like dying. But I'm still over here serving people. I'm gonna put on a happy face. I put a little bit of blush on. I'm not gonna spit on your food, obviously, so you don't get sick. But I can't even wear a mask behind the bar because it's not sanitary. Like,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to me. And the fact that I have to fear that I'm gonna get fired is so fucked up.
I mean, I get the part of being fired, and I think I'm being lucky in that regard because I never got fired.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I've been fired a couple times, y'all.
Yeah.
Maybe it is me.
My thing is like, this is my mentality. I need to do such a good job that whenever you want to fire me for something that it's me not following your rules, it will hurt you.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a good fucking person.
Yeah.
At my job. And that has always been my mentality. And every single place that I've walked into, they always offer me a manager position for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, nah, that's too much. Like, the money's not worth it. Like, to all the managers out there, my respect, because the money that you make is not worth it.
For all the streets that y'all go to and the hours
and
that
the
y'all
hours though, like,
yeah, no.
At the place that I work at, they close at 9. Our servers leave at 10, which is the earliest. And I'm pretty sure the managers leave like at 12. And when it's busy at 1. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not worth it. Like, because I know y'all motherfuckers don't get paid for that shit. So
they get salary. Like, no matter how many hours
you put in. Yeah, it's just a salary. So it's not worth it.
Yeah. The last restaurant that I worked at, it was like that. But we closed at 11. And because it was such like a fancy restaurant, there were times that they would leave until like 5 a.m. That is insane. Like, and
that's abuse.
It's a little abuse shit, maybe. But here's the thing, right? Like, because the restaurant industry is pretty, the restaurants are pretty close as far as like people. Like, you make friends, you make good coworkers, and it's that type of environment that you can ask. I've asked before, like, is this worth it? Like, are you making the money? Like, what's up? Like, I want to know. And I've only gotten a yes once.
It's worth it only once?
Yeah, and we've been in the industry for 10 years. That says something. And like, even the fact that some bartenders earn more than management position with way less hours. Like, one of my
me as a server, I make more than some
managers.
Yeah,
you as a server. Like, it's crazy. Like, I had a couple of coworkers too that have gotten offered manager positions, and they said, absolutely fuck not. Are you gonna pay me more than what you're paying me now? And they're like, no. Make it make sense. Like, hello?
Yeah,
like, why the fuck would they do that?
Yeah, every time they offer me the manager position, I told them same thing. I'm like, okay, how much are you offering me?
Mm-hmm.
They were like, this, and I'm like, dude, I'm making this right now. I'm like, if you can make it more, because I know it's more work, then I will do it. And they were like, no, we just can't offer that. I'm like, I know, then I can fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing. Like, it's just absolutely bananas. They have no fucking sense of reality.
It's just crazy. It's not even that they don't have any sense of reality. It's just, I don't know. Is it a vicious cycle? I guess you could say.
I think it is, though. It is, and it's just like it's a love-hate relationship with restaurants. Because at the end of the day, and I had this theory before, I'll say that if you're homeless, go work for a restaurant, because that'll be the most safest way that you can make your way back on your feet. Not even up, on your feet. Because thinking about it.
You get food.
You get food. That's like 90% of your problems as a homeless person.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of your problems.
I mean, the fact that you're homeless, but...
yeah. No, but I'm saying like the food problem will be solved by you working at a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I feel like from there you can go up. And another thing is, like, whenever you really, really need the fucking money, in most places you will walk out with money that night.
That night, yeah.
So that really fucking helps when you're short on cash.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a love relationship. Like, I'm thankful for it because I've been able to pay a lot of shit with it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, it's not worth it. And now in this job, most of my shifts are morning shift. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, I'm not going to deal with the night bullshit. Like, you have to close, you have to deal with people.
And that's the problem. You have to deal with people. I think that was the factor for me. I think I got tired of getting cussed at all the time. I got tired of just being fucking rude, man. Like, people will be like, they don't even say, can I get a Coke? They say, Coke. Like, damn, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Nah, Coke. Like, it's just, I think this is a sad statement to say, and I'm not necessarily proud of this, and I'm currently working on this, is that I have gotten so over it. I'm like, okay, you're gonna be a piece of shit to me. I'm getting disrespected all day, every day. Obviously, not everybody's bad, but the people that are bad kind of just stick with you.
Yeah.
Because it's just so incredibly rude that it's just like, all right, like, why do I even try? Like, why am I going above and beyond for you when you're a piece of shit and you're still gonna leave $2? Like, I just don't get it. No. And I think that I've gotten so over and so burnt out that it's just, that's why like, if I get fired tomorrow, I think I'm okay with it. Like, as sad as that sounds, like, yes, I'm gonna miss the money. I'm not gonna miss the industry. I'm done. Like, I am so far down, like, it's not even funny. But it's scary. It's scary because I'm like, damn, like, this is all I know. This is what I've done for the last 10 years. This is what has supported me the last 10 years. I've gone, like I said, I'm very thankful for it. There's times that I've made a lot of money, and there's times that I haven't made any money. But it's always been more good than bad, I feel like. But the bad just sticks out to me so much that it's kind of like a little like a poison here and there, you know?
Yeah. I just feel like the bad sticks with you because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
I'll give you this example, and we have to make this fucking.
We do.
We have to make it. We have to make it. Yeah. We're working on it, but I just to give you like a little example. I'm not saying where I work at or anything, but the thing is that we as servers, we're not supposed to touch the food unless we take it from once it's completely poured into the plate to the table.
Like the expo station.
The expo station. So we just grab the plate once it's completely assembled, and we just take it to the customer, and then motherfuckers eat it. Mm-hmm. At my place, we were supposed to serve something. So they give us the plate not finished, and we had to finish it with a little some.
Like a side.
Like a side, yeah. And then we take it to the table.
Okay.
And that's a health department violation.
Yeah,
we're not supposed to do it. Food. And actually, even the managers were like, when health department is here, do not fucking do this. And I'm like, what?
Don't even get me started on the health department, bitch. Oh my god.
And I was like, okay, bet. So why are you? And I asked this question. I was like, why are you making us do this? And they were like, because that's a corporate standard. I'm like, okay, but that's not the health department standard. So are you gonna follow the fucking corporation guideline and they get closed by the fucking health department? Like, the corporation is never gonna win against the fucking government. Yeah. They're like, well, we just gotta follow both. I'm like, bitch, what? And I was like, okay.
People be bribing.
Not even.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get sued. I'm gonna get sued.
No, we're not saying places. We are not saying places. We are not naming names.
We are not getting sued, but just know it.
But this is the kind of fucked up shit that happens, and I told them, and I was like, okay, so help me make sense of this shit. And they were like, it's just the way corporation wants us to do our job. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I told them, I was like, you better pray that I'm not here with the fucking department is here, because if they're here, I'm gonna keep doing what you've been asking me to do.
You told your managers
that?
Yeah. Oh, that's real crazy.
I don't give a fuck.
I love it.
I was like, pray to fucking God that I'm not here the day the health department is here, because if he's here and then you ask me to take something out, I'm gonna be doing the same thing that you've been demanding me to do for the past year. So you better pray. And I'm like, no, you cannot do that because this. I'm like, it's your fucking rules. So you tell me. Yeah. And they can check the cameras, because we've been doing it for the past fucking year. So that's on you. Mm-hmm. I haven't been there with the health department. It's thankful for them.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy. It's
like
it's ridiculous.
They contradict themselves, like you said earlier. Like, it's Child, if y'all could see the faces we're making, the hand gestures we're making, like, we are over it. Like, it's just, honestly, I would say, like, if you go out to a restaurant, and this is gonna sound so crazy, if you go out to a restaurant on a holiday you're evil. Like, you are an evil person to the world. And it sounds so fucked up because obviously you want to celebrate with your family. Like,
but just be smart about it. Like, for example, us, because we're in the industry, we don't go out on Mother's Day. We go out a couple days before, a couple days after, when all the crazy shit died down.
Yeah.
Because, like I said,
not during the week. During the weekend, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, not during the weekend.
Yeah.
Because, like I said on the previous podcast with Cinco de Mayo from Mexican restaurants, you're gonna get cold food that is burnt out and it's gonna be made by a motherfucker that is completely hungover. Because that's the only way that he can deal with this shit.
That's another one.
That's
a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. Everybody be fucked up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it, dude. Like
it's
just.
not worth it.
I'm telling you, for someone that is inside, it's not worth it. You spending your heart and money on shitty service and shitty food, though. Like, even if it's a good restaurant, it's gonna be a little less good.
Yep.
Because of the amount of pressure that people are under. Just go the day after.
Usually, actually, not even the day after. Like, go like 3 days after. Honestly, if you go to a restaurant any big holiday, 99% of the restaurants are gonna be like a fixed menu, absolutely no substitutions. I get it, kitchen wise, but customer wise,
you're gonna be pissed because you're still paying for it.
Yeah, you know how many people, like, for example, let's say that I order a burger with fries and you want a burger with a salad. Sorry, it's a burger with fries, bitch. Like, and then as a customer, you're like, the fuck? I don't want fries. Like, give me my fucking salad. And me, because I have orders from upper managers, like, I can't do anything. And then now I'm giving shitty service. That's kind of what happened to me on Sunday. There was no substitutions going on, and somebody got mad at me. I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Because it's a holiday, because of the amount of volume, like, I explained it. Bitch got mad at me. She ended up getting her food comped.
That's a lot.
And we ended up comping like $100 off her bill.
Nice.
And then she tipped $10. So I was just like you're fucking. Like, it's just such a clusterfuck when it comes to holidays. Like, it's bad in the kitchen. Like, God forbid you make a mistake, or like there was a lot of kitchen mistakes that day. Like, and God, please, I don't ever want to send food back because I get yelled at. I get yelled at by the kitchen, and then they yell at me for being mean. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you guys are yelling at me.
You know when I started doing it? Because they would yell at me. They were like, oh, you gotta pay more attention. You fuck it up and all this. And then I was like, okay, bet. Let's see who fucks it up more times in a week. And I kept a note on my pad. I was like, kitchen and me.
Yeah.
And the kitchen fucked it up like 10 times, and I only fucked it up once. And they started yelling at me. I pulled out my paper and I was like, let's see. And I started putting the receipts. I was like, hey, you fucked it up 10 times. I did that. I had beef with the managers, but like the thing is that the managers respect me because I do such a good job. Yeah. And I'm not trying to like elevate myself, but I'm pretty good at what I do.
Yeah, like if you have good work ethic, you're about it.
Yeah, like I will hate being there, but whenever I have to be there, I'll be there. Mm-hmm. Maybe not on time because like I'm always 5-10 minutes late, but I'll always be there.
I love that.
Yeah. I stopped giving a fuck a long time ago.
I started being on time because I was gonna get fired. Man, you see how done we are? Like, it's just craziness. And honestly, if I don't get fired tomorrow, I'm gonna start doing that because I get in a lot of trouble all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you fuck up this much? I'm like, bro, there's one of me and 30 people, okay? Like, and I have drinks to make. Like, it's just so, I don't want to say unrealistic because it is my job. Therefore, if those are the expectations, I have to meet them. However, I'm fucking human, okay? 1. And 2, if you see that I'm drowning, my guy, help. Like, you over there, you know, like, even, let's say not even management, let's talk about like the restaurant assistants, the people that are supposed to help you out.
Yo, the manager is supposed to be there to help,
and I will say, like,
never helps.
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Some of them do, yeah.
Like, every single restaurant that I've worked at, it's usually pretty good, but there's always that one manager that doesn't do shit. But you know what? It's even crazier, the fact that we have restaurant assistants and we're tipping them out. But if I asked for bread 20 minutes ago, my guy,
where you at?
I'm not giving you shit. I'm sorry. You work for what you have, right? Maybe I should get fired. Maybe I should get fired because I just have so much beef. Like, it's not even like personal beef. It's honestly
work beef.
It's work beef. Like it's so stupid. Like I've gotten yelled at for where the fuck is the bread at? I asked you 10 minutes ago. You tell me where the fuck the bread is at. Oh, but you want my money. You want to complain that I'm not giving you extra cash. Okay. But where my bread at? Like, it's just so stupid. Like, people want to act so fucking entitled to it, but you get what you work for. Right? And there's been a couple of times where I had some, like, bomb-ass restaurant assistants. I'm like, yo, you really did the fucking thing. Here's an extra 10.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
And it doesn't hurt you to give that money out whenever you know that the person earned it.
Right. And I don't mind giving money out when it's well earned. But if you are, again, if I ask you for bread 5 times, go fuck yourself. I'll do it myself. Like, at that point, like, I've gotten to the point where I don't even ask for help anymore because I know I'm not going to get it. I'll get more help from my fellow servers than from anybody else. And that's why maybe that's why I'm still at that place. Like, because for me, I think I have a really good work ethic. I really do like the way that I work. My attitude is something questionable.
Oh shit.
But
that's a different hot topic.
A whole different hot topic. But I'm like, I know that my attitude comes from being so over and so burned out, and that's what I say. Like, I'm working on it because it's not the guest's fault. Like, it's not.
Definitely not.
Like, it's not their fault that I'm a piece of shit, right? It's not. Therefore, like, I've gotten a couple of talks like, hey,
calm the fuck down,
or what's up? And I'm like, okay, cool. You're bringing it up to my attention.
I shall work.
I will work on it, and you will see a change. But just about the way you fucking say things, man.
Yeah.
You can't be fucking condescending. I'm gonna tell you something too. There's a huge difference on how people work when they're working for a boss and for a leader.
Yes.
And people are not ready to hear that.
Yeah, that's a different fucking conversation.
People are not ready to hear that. Looking back through like all my restaurant years, there's only been one dude that I'm like, that was a leader. Like, that man. Yeah, like, I could see the bullshit now.
I will follow that motherfucker.
Yeah, like, honestly, I would. Like, I would work for that manager again. Like, they're...
For the manager, not for the place.
Yeah, I would work for both. I would work for both because I did earn really good money at that place. But also the manager was bomb. But I got fired from that too.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was COVID time. I swear I don't suck. It's just shit that happens to me. You know what? I got fired. That's a whole different story. Anyways, the thing about it is like, hilarious. For example, like one of my managers at a certain point in my restaurant career, he wasn't the main manager, but I'm like, if I need something, I'm gonna come to you. Like, fuck the other guy. Like, I know that you're gonna talk to me with respect. I know that you're gonna listen to me. And you know, like, it's as long as there's some sort of dynamic, like, it's cool. But sometimes the way people in power talk to you is absolutely insane. Even if you try to complain to HR is sometimes worse. So,
yeah, but that's the thing. People think that HR is there for the employee. Who pays HR?
The company.
The company. So HR is for the company. That's what people don't understand.
And that's so fucked up.
Money.
But that's so fucked up, and that kind of goes into a deeper conversation. Like, for example, let's say that there's some sort of sexual harassment going on at the workplace, and I bring it up to HR, and HR still covers that person. Not only is that gonna, I'm already gonna feel some type of way about the company, but personally, bro,
you're alone.
I'm alone, and this is why people don't fucking speak up. This is why people don't report shit, because nothing is being done. Even if something, God forbid, something were to happen to me, I will take it to HR, and if nothing is done, I will sue, because you got me fucked all the way up. Like, what do you mean you're not gonna fire this person that did some crazy shit to me? And even if it's like off camera, my guy, you best believe I'm gonna have a conversation with the person that happened, the owner, and the manager, like the big kahunas. Like, I will get HR in there, and I will get the fucking owner. Like, I will raise hell, because it's just so fucked up how many times I've seen it happen in the restaurant industry. Literally in every single restaurant that I've worked at, I say probably like 10 years, probably worked like 4 or 5 different restaurants at the most. And every single one, I've seen some bullshit happen.
Yeah.
And it's kind of so sad that it's an ongoing joke with amongst like the restaurant staff. Like, oh, report it to HR. She is HR. Like, HR is doing it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so crazy.
It's a broken system for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the same for multiple industries. I mean, we're obviously talking about the restaurant because that's what we know. But I mean, if you read stories online, you can see that that's from every single place, like office places, the entertainment industry, sports, like the restaurants, obviously. Every single fucking industry is broken. So we need to fix ourselves as society, because at the end of the day, we are the shitty people. We are the shitty people that we do. I go back to this. We need better education, because education is the base, the fundamentals to be better people.
The fact that we can't even agree to read a fucking book about segregation, it already tells you everything, right? Like, people want to complain that we're teaching our children about the past, you know? Like,
we need to learn about the past so we don't repeat the mistakes in the future.
There are some things that I agree on when it comes to, like, school. Like, I don't want my kid learning about transgender people at 5 years old. Maybe they can learn it when they're 17, 16. I feel like that's more of an appropriate
interesting
age.
You change your view on that.
What do you mean? What did I say that earlier?
I mean, we were having this conversation about kids in like elementary school getting talked about trans people, and I was making the argument that it was not the right age.
That's what I said too. I said it wasn't the right age. I don't want my kids learning that like kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade.
I mean, but you were saying that you would be okay with a trans talking to people, and then I make the argument of like making it older. So now
I do remember that. No, but we were talking about drag queens.
It's almost the same shit. It's people that are dressing.
It's not the same thing.
Explain that to a 5-year-old.
And I would, because
but that would be so confusing.
But here's the thing: a drag queen is very different than a trans person. A trans person is somebody that changes their whole identity. That's who they are every day over their lives. Drag queens are characters.
But you don't know that when you're 5.
But you will know. If you see a
person, when you see a clown,
you know it's a clown.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it looks like a clown.
Exactly. So if you see a person dressing like a woman or a man dressing like a woman, you're gonna be like, yeah, they're both women.
But drag queens are clowns.
But you don't know that as a 5-year-old.
But I feel like that's fucked up because, like I said, let's talk about like a literal clown, like the puffy hair, the nose. They'll know that's a clown. Now a drag queen is gonna be made up in a big ass wig, some ridiculous makeup, good ridiculous makeup, but it's a costume because it's a big ass puffy dress or whatever the theme is. It doesn't look like a woman, like a mom. Like you can clearly tell that that's a character.
But that's my thing. As a kid, you cannot tell the difference. If you show a kid a scary movie, he's gonna think that it's real life. How many scary movies did you watch as a kid and you couldn't sleep because you thought it was real?
Yeah, a lot.
Same fucking thing. If you see a drag queen and a trans, you're gonna be like, okay, that's a fucking woman. You're gonna confuse the fuck out of kids. There has to be an age and time for everything. And when you're a fucking kid, that's not the time.
I feel you. I feel like I'm a little bit more like on the side of okay, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with the drag queen.
I'm cool with it, and don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that there's a time and place, and I don't feel like when you're a kid, that's the time. It needs to be. That's like girls that sign up to be porn stars at 18 and then they regret at 27 because they didn't fucking know better.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the education, the mental capacity, or the emotional maturity.
Yeah, they're just not developed enough.
They're just not developed. So that's the thing with the kids. Like, you cannot expose kids to something that is beyond their comprehension.
Ooh, I like that. But that's where the parenting comes in. That's why I'm okay. That's why I'm okay with it with the drag queens. And that's the whole, like, I'm not okay with them, like, learning about anal sex at, like,
how to put a condom with their mouth.
Yeah, I don't want them to learn that at kindergarten. You know, they can learn that a little bit further down the line. But like, if I were a parent and there has to be a letter be sent out. There has to be, right? Like, hey, we're having a drag queen come in to read to the kids. Okay, but what is she reading? Is she reading how to switch your gender, or is she reading how to sing your ABCs? Okay, like, cool. You know, like, then I'd be cool with it. And then it's up to me as a parent. Hey, how was today? Oh, and that's it. That my kid was like, oh, there was a strange lady talking about the alphabet. Okay, cool. What did the lady look like? Right? And that's when I'm like, okay, this is what a drag queen looks like. This is actually a man that is portraying this woman, and it's a character. That's when the parenting comes in. But I know that sadly not everybody parents.
No. And another thing, it will be good if parents could say no to those kind of things. Okay, so there's a drag queen coming in, I don't know, next week, and you get a notification as a parent, just be like, okay, I don't agree with that, so I'm just not gonna send my kid to school that day.
Yeah,
that would be cool, but again, there's repercussions if you don't send your kid to school.
It's like a field trip.
Yeah,
it's like you have to have your.
Sometimes there has been times where parents are not aware of it until later.
Oh, that's real crazy.
That's really crazy, and that's another problem. That's another problem.
And that's up to the schools.
Yeah, but the schools are going bananas as well. The education is
the whole thing. I mean, not even about education. The fact that they have to worry about fucking guns, like the bill that just passed to arm teachers. Fuck out of here! Like, can you imagine being a 22-year-old getting fresh out of college? Let's say that you were a girl. Like, I'm gonna use our little town for example. A lot of the people that I went to high school with are elementary school teachers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like a lot of them. And
I didn't know that.
We are now 24, 25, all that. I could not imagine coming out of college at 22, being ready for my first class. Like, oh shit, like I'm gonna teach the second grade or first grade, little kids. But I also gotta know how to defend them myself with a gun. How traumatic is that? Like, and the fact that the teachers are having to worry about that more than education.
You're talking about school shootings?
Just like in general, like, cause you said that that's like the school system is all kind of fucked up, and my argument to that was like, yes, it's fucked up because people are worried about the wrong things. Or
but you mean school shootings in this case? Because they got guns.
Because there was a bill that passed.
That armed teachers.
To arm the teachers.
Because of school shooting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, to protect the kids. The fact that we're arming the teachers instead of just banning guns is crazy to me, but...
I mean, I don't think banning the guns will actually be the solution. To me, the solution is that we live in a fucking cuckoo country right now. That we literally have a mental...
decline.
A mental decline in society. We just have so many mental problems in our population today, and we don't accept that. So we need to have most of these people go to fucking psychiatrists and not even medicated, but like open back. What do you call those places where you send like crazy people? Mental asylums.
Mental asylums.
I honestly believe that we need some of those bitches back up because some of these people are incapable of functioning in society.
But people can't afford that. It would be nice.
No, I'm not saying people afford it. I'm just saying like the government needs to open these facilities to send people in.
Child, we can't even get free healthcare.
That's what I'm saying. That's a whole different conversation. Like that's something that honestly I will be behind if the state of Georgia were to say, hey, you know what, like this is a mental pandemic and we just need to get these people in check. We're gonna use some of the funds that we get as a state to open a mental facility so we can send people in.
That would be nice.
I'll sign up for that.
Yeah.
And if I end up in there, like fuck it.
Yeah.
Like if not if government, if society deems me as a threat to society, then I will go.
But how would they know? How do I know? Like, if let's say that I don't know you, how do I know that you're not fit for society?
There has to be some kind of mental test for it. Just like there's tests for psychopathy and mental illness, there should be a test to know what kind of extremes you can go to as a human being.
I think the test should be taken whenever you sign up to get a gun. Are you even?
Oh yeah, that will be another one too.
Are you mentally?
Yeah, there should be like some psychological test.
Yeah,
when you buy a gun.
Yeah, like the fact that's what I'm saying. It's just so fucked up. Like, I think the whole problem. I don't think I had this conversation one day at a party.
At a party.
At a party, like it went on. We literally started talking at like 1 a.m. and we didn't stop talking until 7 a.m. Like it was that type of like conversation.
Yeah.
And it turned into like a group debate. It was great. it was a great conversation. But I'm not against guns. I do, like we are in the United States, therefore Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Cool. There's no reason why Sloppy Joe next door should have a fucking automatic rifle. Like, the fuck? Like, no! Like, you can have a handgun. You know, like, that's cool. But what the fuck do you need an automatic for?
Okay. I see where you're coming from, and I'll say that he might not need it, but if he can get it because he's in his right, he can get it. Unless he's not mentally fit to have it. Mm-hmm. Because if he has like a rage episode, then yeah, he will go out and shoot people, which is what isn't happening. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not against people buying a fucking tank if they want, but make sure that they're capable mentally of understanding it. No, how the fuck is that crazy? Because that's like owning a pit bull or like a wild animal. Well, not a wild animal, but like an aggressive dog. The dog is gonna be as aggressive as the owner is. So if the owner doesn't teach the animal how to behave, then the fucking animal is gonna attack people. Same thing. If you have a gun and you don't know how to act with it, then you're gonna fucking create chaos. You're gonna shoot people.
Right. But so the fact that that's even a possibility, like, we really could buy a tank. You know, like, it really is that crazy. Like, whether it's legally or illegally, we could.
Yeah, there's a big difference. Because that's the basis of the Second Amendment, that you can buy it legally to defend yourself.
You're right.
So yeah.
But I mean,
legally, that's a different game.
I think that the problem is so big at this point. This whole thing about arming teachers is just adding more to the problem. Like, I get why they may want to do that, but it's just like, bro, fix the problem itself.
Which is mental illness.
I just feel like mental illness is such an excuse, and that's not to say that it's not real. Like, I'm like, obviously.
But why would that be an excuse?
Because I just feel like people have gotten so used to blaming everything on mental illness, and I think the problem is not mental illness. I think the problem is that too much freedom. Like, a lot of freedom, it's not good freedom. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
it's people with no purpose in life.
Their purpose in life is to do that. Like, some wasn't there a school shooter that was like, yeah, like, I was meant to do this. Like, you know, like, people think they're meant, like, this divine intervention, and that's when the mental health comes in, right? Which is fine. Like, I get it, but at the same time, like, it's also the parents. Like, there was a case of one of the school shootings that the parents also got convicted because the kid was like, there were signs, bitch. Like, teachers were called. Like, everybody was like, hey, something is going on with your kid that is a violence type of shit. Parents ignored it. Whatever. I don't know if the kid died. Or he also went to jail.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know about the kid. But I know the parents went to jail.
Yeah, and the parents went to jail. So I'm just like, the fact that it's just too much freedom. Like, the fact that the parents also had that shit going on, like, there's no need. I think the problem is too much freedom.
I mean, too much freedom
could definitely...
I definitely feel that we don't have a sense of purpose nowadays. Going back to what we're talking about, the restaurant, that is just so fast paced and they're demanding so much of you that you just feel trapped in this little hole. So when you feel trapped in this little hole, you feel like you don't belong anywhere and you don't have any purpose in life besides, I don't know, serving whatever else. So I feel like that's the people that will commit that. People that have no hope for the future.
I mean, I don't know, it's fucked up.
Very.
It's fucked up and it's sad, and it's honestly, it's not even sad, it's frustrating at this point. Like, I'm no longer sad for, it's gonna sound horrible, but I'm no longer sad for school shootings. Like, bro,
that's because they became so normal.
And that's fucked up. That's frustrating. That's no longer sad. Like, the fact that this is happening, the fact that we know this could happen to our little town, is so scary. And, like, our town is so tiny. Like, the shooter's gonna get to our house in 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up. Like, unfortunately, the few have ruined it for all of us. Sorry. I'm sorry, but if we really want to go back to calming this problem, it's like we're little kids. Y'all ruined it. Sorry. Next thing, what I think, my personal opinion, is like, cool, you can have obviously we can't erase the guns off the planet of the earth, right? Like, people have everything that they have. Cool. At this point, nobody can buy a gun unless you have some sort of, like, mental test to make sure you're mentally fit to own a gun. Like, sorry, like this is the way that it needs to be from now on. And I know it's not gonna fix the problem, but
it'll definitely reduce the incident.
Maybe. I mean, because at the end of the day, there's still, like, the dark web and everything, and people can make their own guns nowadays. Like, it's just...
Yeah, but not everybody. I mean...
It takes a lot.
Yeah, it takes a lot,
yeah.
and the average school shooter has been someone that is in his early 20s. I mean, and you've seen it.
Yeah.
Because there's pictures of people who commit shootings at school. They're not the brightest. There's no way they can make a homemade handgun.
They always kind of look the same too.
Exactly.
But some of them could though. Like some of them are. Here's the thing. I feel like they're kind of like I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but you know how people say that autistic people are very smart.
Yeah.
But they may be like nonverbal or something like that. But like once you get them going, they're going. I feel like some of the school shooters are on that type of spectrum. I guess.
I don't really think so. I feel like that's people that is just very in their own little world, but they're not just connected with society in any way, or they're not even smart people. Because if they were smart, they will. This is a hot topic. Because I feel like if they were smart, they will plan it better.
I mean, they usually always
they kill like
they kill
five.
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a coward way out.
That's one. That's the coward's way out. But if they were smart about doing a shooting, they will study for it, and that's gonna sound so shitty and so crazy. But I don't think that that's the smartest people. Like, if they're not smart enough to plan how to do that properly, they're not gonna be smart enough to know how to create a gun.
Just because they're not smart in one area doesn't mean that they're not smart in another area. Because it could be shit. You don't know.
But to have discipline to make it, that's what I'm saying.
I think so. I don't think every single school shooter does, but the fact that they have the balls to do this already says a lot.
I don't think that has to do with having the balls to do school shooting. I think that's just the ignorance of their actions.
You have to have some sort of balls to be like, yeah, I'm about to off these kids. Like, how do you? Can you just imagine the what's going on in your head? Let's say that we're walking in to the classroom. We're like, all right, bet this is it. Like, that takes courage, like, and insanity.
I think that takes insanity more than courage, because
you have to pull the trigger. You have to have the courage to pull the trigger.
But by that mentality, what would be the difference between going hunting for a, like, I don't know, a deer or a buffalo or whatever?
I think you have the courage for that too. Like, for me, I know that I couldn't shoot an animal. I don't have the courage for that. I could not bring my finger to pull the trigger. I know that for me. And the fact that they can already lets me know that I don't think they're bright. I don't think they're Einstein, but I don't think they're completely dumb. Because some people do study for this. Maybe not like as well as they should. Like, I think like the true criminals, the people that do heists and things like that, that's a whole different level.
Yeah. But we're talking about school shootings.
Right.
And I don't feel like that people, especially because they're so young. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's usually like 25 at the oldest.
I feel like the oldest, yeah.
Yeah, the oldest is like 25. So like, you don't have really any expertise in life when you're 25, unless you join the army or like any kind of like military branch. Then you'll have some knowledge, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It only happened once in Denmark, and that was like a crazy case. Mm-hmm. But it hasn't happened in America. It was just mostly troubled teenagers that they were fed up with how society treat them, and then they went nuts. I don't think that the people that has going nuts and do school shootings or some kind of shooting here in America have the brains for it. I just don't see it because they don't have the mental capacity. They just acting on impulse.
They don't have the mental capacity, but they have the mental capacity to shoot kids.
But that's a little more simple than to plan it and then to.
But they do plan it.
I mean, they plan it to the extent that they're gonna do it, but they don't do it in a smart way. That's my argument. Because like think about a war. Mm-hmm. So whenever you're in a war, you have your brightest people at the top. And they're making the decision. Okay, we're gonna go through here, and then we're gonna send like a small troop here, and then when they attack us, we're gonna flank them, and we're gonna.
There's a plan of attack.
There's a plan of attack. Mm-hmm. And school shooters don't do that. They're just like, let's go in and see what happens, and then whenever like I'm cornered, I'm just gonna kill myself. Mm-hmm. How the fuck is that a plan? Like they're not thinking ahead. If they really wanted to create chaos, and I hope I'm not going crazy here, because I know this is a hot topic.
Yeah.
But they just acting on impulse. They're not acting on planning.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the difference why they thankfully they don't create that much damage. Because I mean, if somebody prepared could definitely wipe out a whole school.
I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just bomb the place.
And they have tried it because they're not that prepared. It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Like the Columbine example. Like they tried to create bombs to kill a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. And it didn't happen because they didn't know how to properly create a bomb. Which was good.
It's the only reason why I said about making the gun is because there's been a couple of cases where parents found like their kids will order kind of like a Build-A-Bear, but like build a gun type of thing from the dark web, and they'll be like, "What the fuck? Like, why did you order this?" You know, that's why I said that.
And those are red flags. And whenever your kid does that, you definitely need to
slap the shit out of them.
Be involved as a parent and definitely call the cops, because you don't want an incident. You'll be like, hey, like, I love my kid to death, but this is what's happening. I need to protect myself, my kid, and the people around my kid, so he doesn't do anything crazy to them. Like I think like that really requires a lot of balls.
So you would turn your kid in?
I guess it depends on the circumstances.
What circumstances wouldn't you turn your kid in if there were red flags?
It depends on the red flags, because I don't think all flags are red flags. So, for example, if your kid is angry at you and I don't know, he writes on his diary, "Oh, I fucking hate you, like you're a bad parent," all this. He's speaking out of emotion,
right?
Not out of anger,
right?
So I don't think he will do something towards me.
Anger is an emotion.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's just like an impulsive action. It's like it's in the heat of the moment.
They're expressing themselves in a way that is not harming anybody.
Yeah.
By writing it in the diary.
Yeah. Right. But if they were to like, oh yeah, I fucking hate like Johnny because he makes fun of me, and I can't wait to stab him in the back, and like that would be a red flag with a knife, and already like I steal the kitchen knife and I got it in my room, and like that's a fucking red flag.
That's a plan right there.
That's a plan.
Yeah.
But if he's just angry because of the heat of the moment, he's like, I fucking hate my mom because like she took my phone and that bitch and all this, like I'm like, you stupid. You know,
I get
like,
that.
So that would be like a red flag. Like it depends on the red flag. Like
that's a beige. I don't think that the red flag will be like the whole plan. Like I'm gonna kill Johnny. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
With my kitchen knife, like on Tuesday morning, on second period. Like that's
definitely a red flag. So that's what I'm saying.
You report that.
Yeah. I mean, I will be like, okay, like, dude, we need to sit down, and I will definitely call the cop and be like, this is crazy, but like, this is what is happening right now. So I want to make sure that this fucking kid that I don't know, it's safe, and I want to report to the school because maybe this kid pushed my kid to this fucking extreme. So maybe the problem is the kid as well. So maybe he did it to my kid, he might do it to somebody else's kid.
Yeah.
And if my kid didn't act upon it, maybe another kid will. So I want to protect the other kid, my kid, and that fucking Johnny kid. Or maybe just like send that Johnny kid to jail or whatever.
Yeah. Get rid of Johnny.
Get rid of Johnny.
One way or another, Johnny is going away. I mean, that's a scary conversation to have, to like know what you would do with your kid. Like imagine that, like having that conversation with your spouse, like, hey babe, this is what's going on, how do we want to approach it? Because now if it's a red flag like that, now you're in danger too, because if you already know that your kid is thinking those type of thoughts, like holy shit, right? But I think it would be such a interesting dynamic to see it with your spouse. Like, okay, how are we going to go about this? Are we going to call the cops? Are we going to go to a psychiatrist? Are we going to talk to him first? Like, what is the safest step of action?
I feel like in those cases it's good to have good family values, because men will protect their family from a physical perspective and women will from an emotional part.
Right. I do agree on that.
Meaning that the parent might speak with the kid, but the mom will show the love that maybe the kid lacks,
right,
to make sure that they're level. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
So I feel like a good first green flag will be to have a whole family, meaning mom and dad, so they can have a balance.
But that's not always the case.
That's not always the case. And I think that's one of the things that actually a lot of school shooters have, that they don't have a united family.
I actually don't know about that. But you know what? I've noticed with kids lately.
What?
I've noticed that people that have two parents are usually happier.
Yeah.
And I noticed that with somebody at work. I was like, "You're a very happy kid. Like that's weird." Mm-hmm. You know, like she was just like too happy. Not too happy, but it was just like
happier than the average.
It was just like, it was honestly like so inspiring. Like I was like, wow, like that's fantastic. Like,
that's what a good family does.
Like, not even, like, it was like, I'm honestly jealous. Like, holy shit. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, why wouldn't you want to be happy all the time? Like, how, like, what has happened to you, or what hasn't happened to you that you're just such a happy person, right? And I'm not saying this person hasn't gone through, like, shit. I'm sure that person has, right? But one thing that dawned on me, I was like, you have both of your parents, and your parents are happy, and, like, you can see the happiness. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I would probably be happy too, you know? So it was just like a little, like...
Light bulb?
Yeah, it was a little light bulb that I saw, and I started thinking about all my friends, and I was like, none of my friends have their fucking parents. I was like, fuck, like, I probably have, like, 3 friends all my life that both of their parents are either alive or they're still together. But other than that, everybody separated, divorced, or maybe dead, you know, like,
in jail,
yeah, like, yeah, I've noticed that my friends that have parents or family, even like siblings that are in jail, are a different breed. I'm like, oh,
they're more broken.
Are they broken?
In a way, yeah.
I mean, I think it's more like a... Actually, yeah, I would have to agree with that. Broken, because it comes from, like, breaking up a family. Yeah, I agree.
It's just a dark path that some people just can't escape, I feel like.
What, divorce?
Not divorce, just like the idea that their families are not together. And I read this a long time ago, and actually you're gonna like it because it was a conspiracy theory.
Oh, I love conspiracy
saying that the government wanted to break up American families so they could serve the country first.
Yeah.
And I can see that, because if you see like especially white families, because black people are a little more united than white people in family values. And I see this between my white friends and my Hispanic friends. Like we're in our late 20s and we still live with our parents. And a lot of white people find that weird. I'm like, why wouldn't I want to live with my parents? Like, what's so bad in your life that you needed to get away from your parents when you just turned 18?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm in my late 20s and I'm happy sharing my life with them. Like, of course, we're not going to get along 24/7. But for the most part, it's a good relationship.
I feel like it's a part of growing up. Like, for example, for me, there was a point where I was like, yeah, I couldn't move back home. Obviously, things have changed. But looking back at it, I'm like, it was just a young mentality. You know, like just trying to think I was hot shit or whatever, thinking that I couldn't go past the damage that had happened for whatever reason. And it was just more about communication. So it's just... But some people really have shitty parents. Like, so, there are some instances that I'm like, yeah, I understand. Like, I totally get, like, and I get what you're saying, like, when they wanted to separate American families, because the one thing I don't get about the military system is that there's hella bases everywhere.
And they will send you the farthest away.
And they will send you, like, to Oklahoma, bitch. Like, what? When there's a base, like, up north. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so sad. And people that have that lifestyle, I have a really close friend that is in the military. And he kind of has family in the jail system too, and he's not with his family, and he's like, oh, I couldn't go back to my family. Like, there's just too many things going on. And I'm like, I understand your perspective, but the fact that you feel like you can, but you can't. Like, it's that mentality is so sad to me. But again, I'm not in this circumstance, therefore, like, I respect it, but it's just
but
sad.
not even that. Like, think about college. So let's say you're from Georgia, and you want to study whatever. They will send you to the other side of the country to study whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, that's a system that you break, like, meaning your family. Because you will break up your family, your parents from your kids, and then your kid will do their own life in, I don't know, California.
Yeah.
And now the family will be divided.
But I feel like that's part of the system, because...
But that's the system of breaking up family.
Yeah, because, like, even if you're talking about college, let's say that the kid goes away to a whole different state, and they're going to be in a dorm or an apartment, whatever, those are the party years. Those are the years to go crazy, wild, cuckoo, and it creates a bigger divide.
It does. What a good conversation.
It has been a great conversation. I am very happy with this episode. And I didn't even drink. Look at that.
Shit, I did too.
Sobriety is the move, y'all.
Power to the people.
Power to the sober people out there.
Hell yeah. But let's wrap it up. It's getting late, and I still got shit to do.
So late. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I really enjoyed talking to you today. It's been a good... Did you say I know?
I know, yeah. I'm a great conversation.
This motherfucker. He said, I know. Instead of saying, great conversation. No. Hey.
I'm a great person to speak to.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for listening.
I'll see you in the next episode, people.
We will see you on the next one. Cheers. Peace.